What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua questioned whether Deontay Wilder is silently working on a master plan after the defeat of Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua says he can't wait for Deontay Wilder to break his silence and question whether the American is working on a master plan, of course. He also had this to say in defense of Deontay Wilder. He said, "I don't know, so I can't speak on everyone's situation. But from my own humble opinion, after a loss, things change." He says, "You distance yourself. The world is cruel, and you have to have thick skin." Either he's putting together a master plan. He's in a lab right now with his science glasses on, studying Fury's every move. Either he's doing that or he's sitting at the edge of the lake with his head in his hands and thinking, what's really going on? One minute you're at the top of the world and the next minute you're not. That's the name of the game that we're in. Wow. So, before I continue, let me say this. Anthony Joshua, just like a lot of people, just like me and millions of other people, really want to know what's going on with Wilder. And the silence is building intrigue, but it also builds frustration, and it also alludes and implies that the negative things, okay? So we have those things that are up for grabs, because as long as people say it and there's nothing else to really contradict it or to counterpunch it, that's what you're going to think, you know? Especially after Tyson has spoken and done everything he needed to do or whatever, and along with his team. And he said he's moving on. So that contradicts, if there's no fight, then we don't even know if there's any chance of him avenging himself. You know, because maybe he is training in quiet, in private, right? But then again, we don't know. We really don't know. So at this point, this is what we have. But Joshua, again, you got to take your hat off to him, because he can empathize with Wilder, because he's been there. One minute you're at the top, the next minute you're not, and people are talking about you. But the ironic thing is, Deontay Wilder was talking so much shit about Joshua at the time, it was ridiculous. You know, so you don't really see Joshua really going out of his way to say something shitty about Wilder. You know, he said what he said about Wilder, but then let it go. He wasn't like, hey, I'm happy, I'm hanging out with the person that beat you, or this, that, and the other. High-fiving, chest bumping, and all this stuff, and dapping up Tyson Fury. No, he wants to fight Tyson Fury, because that's the way of the game. Tyson is in, Wilder is out for right now. So he wants he wants Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury has the belt. Okay? So he did shed some of that insight on him, so he just lets you know what happens when you lose, especially when you lose for the first time in your career, like both fighters have done. Anyway, let's move on. Joshua also said this. He says it's interesting as to say why he hasn't spoken. But when he does speak, we'll soon find out. For me to make speculation as to why he hasn't spoken, I can't, because only he knows. Wow. You know, that alone shows you that the same thing Joshua just said is the same thing that should be applied to everybody. See, if you're for or you're against Wilder, you can make assumptions all day long. You can hear from people that's close to him. You can hear from whoever. But until he speaks, you'll really never know, because the way rumors have been thrown around, especially when the pandemic, and I think people have time to make up shit, because there's really nothing else really to do based on what they feel or what they desire Deontay Wilder to do or say, or to not do or to not say. You know, I think that's what's driving a lot of people putting out video after video after video on how they know this and they have evidence on that, this, that, and the other. But until Wilder says, like now, Joshua's saying, hey, you don't know until you know. But when he does speak, it's going to happen. So maybe Deontay Wilder himself is sitting back and thinking, you know what? I got all these motherfuckers waiting for me. So all eyes on D. Right? So it's one of those things where it's like, cool. I have these guys waiting. I have these guys eagerly wanting to know what's going on with me. And it's up to me to drop the ball, whatever the ball may be, but it's good to see Joshua look at things from both sides. That's the pure spirit of a Libra, so it is what it is. It's Libra season, as I know, because I am one of them. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's statement. Is Deontay Wilder working on a master plan? Please tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunching. Peace.